So, let's make some noise. Okay, but seriously, I have a lot to tell you and not very much time, but there's enough time for one more round of applause. Okay, that's enough, thank you. Some of you might be wondering what I'm doing dressed up like this. It's because I'm a Bible salesman. I go door to door like this trying to sell people my book. It's the Old Testament, but I illustrated it, and no one wants it when I go to their door and try to sell it to them. They don't even want my book when I read from my informational poster I crafted based on a survey I conducted. Check out these actual testimonials and graphs. One second.
You have graphs? What are graphs?
It's
Testimonials?
based on a survey I conducted. Let's see, let's see here. Is the binding choice okay, or should the book have been goat skin? 54% said that it was fine as is, but pretty close to half want a goat skin. Would you buy this book again if you hadn't bought it yet? 90.9% said yes. And the rest said unsure. Would you be willing to set americasbible.com, that's my website, americasbible.com as your homepage on your internet browser? 63% said yes, and the other one said no. And then some quotes from people said this, they keep it by their bedside to warm their heart every night. And then, how happy are you with your product? 10 is the happiest, 1 is really sad. Everyone said 10. So. 11 people took the survey.
What did your mom say?
She did not take the survey. That's okay. We have a it's just what it is. But I record the conversations with people at their doorsteps, and I weave them into this mostly fictional story podcast I'm working on with Dan Dukich. Let's hear it for Dan Dukich. A lot of you may know Dan, called Birth of a Salesman. And the first 5 episodes will come out in early 2024. Dan produces it, does the sound design, and narrates it, and it follows my efforts as a Bible salesman as I face harsh rejection, but also meet really nice people who encourage me to try different advertising ploys, like getting business cards, advertising at the DMV, making pamphlets, getting a website, you know. But also I make some real bad enemies, and it's been really fun to work with Dan, and it's been great collaborating with about a dozen actors to bring the script to life here. But I'll show you my book here.
What book?
Woo!
What book?
What book?
The Old Testament.
Oh. Ooh.
It's red velvet,
Red velvet. Ooh.
and the briefcase,
Sexy.
and a red bookmark ribbon. That's the part that I have.
Sexy.
Thank you. So yeah, I'll just leave that up here. Anyone can, this one's copy 150, anyone can just look at it. That's what it's there for. Copy 150 is for everyone. So yeah, it's 257 illustrations. It took me 7 years to make, and it's the entire text of the Old Testament. And I mentioned the red bookmark ribbon first because I'm super proud of it, and there's gold foil. And yeah, so okay, but now's the part where I need your help. Because I know it's unusual for a Tiny Tuesday performer to ask the audience for help, but I need something from you, okay? Okay?
Yep.
Okay, you guys need to agree unanimously, and then I'll continue.
Yes.
Okay.
Praise it.
How many of you are there out there? It's like probably 30 maybe? 40? 60?
Evangelize.
100?
Evangelize.
Okay, so it looks like that's perfect because I have 15 envelopes here. Hold on. So this means not everybody has to do this, but about half of you have to do this, okay? Each one, in each envelope, it's addressed to a famous person. And I need you to write them a letter for me. I'm gonna read the name of each celebrity one at a time, and I want someone to come up and accept the duty of writing to that celebrity. We need to tell the celebrities to be ready for Birth of a Salesman. They can Things they can do to get ready include buying an illustrated Old Testament, setting my website, americasbible.com, to their homepage, and telling the world about it before it's released in January or February. We need their help to promote it, but don't worry, you don't need to write this down. There's instructions in each envelope. Now please don't let me down. I'm gonna reach into this bag, pull out the first envelope with the famous person's fan mail address, and then someone please come up and accept this task. Here we go. You don't even know which celebrity it is yet. J.K. Rowling. Okay, number 2, we got Eric Clapton. Come up, somebody. This is gonna take all night if you guys are not helping me out here. Thank you. Steven Seagal. Who wants Steven Seagal? Who wants Steven Seagal? Thank you.
Hey, that's mine. I want Steve. He's my man.
Okay, this guy looks like he might want Brett Favre. Yeah! Okay, we got Jimmy Buffett. Who wants? He died? Is he dead? Shit. Rest in peace. We got Pete Sampras. Sweet. Okay, Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan.
Me, I'll take.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Another athlete here. We got Tiger Woods.
I'll take Tiger Woods.
All right.
Oh, heck yeah.
And this is actually super fortuitous and unplanned, but this one's Shakira, and that was the cover before, so that's pretty cool. Okay, who wants Shakira?
I do, unless the artist. I can write Spanish.
Perfect, thank you. Leonardo DiCaprio? Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh,
We got a taker?
Yeah.
Thank you. Is that really all of them? You guys did that really fast. Nope, we got more. Okay, so Sting. We got a long way to go, you guys. This is 5 left. So I got a lot more I got to get through. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Sylvester Stallone. Okay. Avril Lavigne. Okay. Thank you. I'll come back to Sylvester Stallone. It's not done yet. Jackie Chan. Thank you. Thank you. John Bon Jovi. So we got John Bon Jovi and Sylvester Stallone. I'm not gonna move on until these are received dutifully, and you guys are gonna help me out here, because.
I'll take Bon Jovi.
Okay.
All right, then I'll take Sylvester Stallone.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I didn't want to tell you before I gave you the envelopes, but they don't have stamps on them. And about half of these people have addresses in the UK, Canada, or China. So, okay, but now we're at the halfway point. I know on the flyer I said I was going to read short stories from my forthcoming novel, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a stand-up comedy routine that nobody asked for. I've never done one of these, okay? All right?
Tell yourself. With pride.
Hold on.
Wait, it was the wrong direction the whole time? You're just reading the wrong side.
No, we're doing all right. It's the right side. Okay, I'm going to start with a couple jokes about something we can all relate to, okay? All right, who here's had a job before? I can't hear you. We all have to put food on the table, right? That's not very loud, pretty quiet. Maybe there's some people here who are retired already. Raise your hand if you're retired. Oh, sweet. Okay, so you can be quiet here. You don't have to cheer. Who needs to work to put food on the table, okay? You know, like, okay, now we can start, okay. I have a hard time working 8 hours a day. I always have. I thought about it a lot, and I'm not exactly positive why that is. But I think one of the big reasons for it is that I always get there late, and I leave early. Thank you. You ever get home from work a little early on one of those days that you don't quite make it a full 8 hours, and you look at the clock and it says 3:75, and you're like, huh? And you like scratch your head, and you're like, what? And then you realize you left the oven on all day. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it for my.
That bread is burned. That bread is burned.
Yeah, it's burnt. But that's it for my working man jokes. Now I got my shoe tying jokes. Okay. When I'm tying shoes on at a shoe store, if I'm struggling to tie them, I like to tell the guy helping me that I'm usually way better at tying my shoes. But today is a weird exception, and I'll start huffing and puffing and trying to catch my breath and saying, I'm not cut out for this stupid thing. And then I'll ask if they have any resources for me. They never do, and they always make it worse. So I stripped the shoes off my feet I was tying, and I thrust them at the shoe helper with panic in my eyes. I said, don't tell anybody about this. You can keep my shoes too if you don't tell anyone. I don't give them any time to answer before I run away in just my socks, and they never see me again. I'm in the next town over, and they never know what happened. When I'm tying my shoes at a grocery store though, you know, like if they come untied while I'm shopping really hard, and the produce person tries to take that opportunity to sell me more shoes when I'm at my most vulnerable, I say, yeah, let me see what you got, you know. And then when they show me the shoes that just look like blurry eggplants, I don't have my glasses on, but they still don't really fool me. I say, no way, lady, what's your angle here? I don't trust you at all. And I get away from her as fast as I can and don't look back. But I always pull a fast one on them in the self-checkout line. For my eggplants, I put my shoes on the scale instead of the eggplants, and I save a lot of money. Some people think it's stealing, but it's a big box store. You know, they'll be okay. I got a one-liner here. I love looking at my shadow and saying, is that really what I look like? Just a whole joke. In the morning when it's multivitamin time at my house for my whole family, before school and work, I like to make a big fuss about making sure I get mine first. I storm up to the cabinet and I gobble up my pills in front of them like how on an airplane you're supposed to get your own oxygen before you help anyone else out. I look them in the eyes too when I'm eating my adult gummy vitamins, and then I calm way down and I help them get theirs. All right, so I got a foot-long sub the other day, probably actually about 13 years ago now.
What kind?
I think it was probably veggie at that time in my life. And the lady asks me, she says, would you like to make that a meal? And with chips and a soda, you know? So I said, no thanks, I'll just keep it as a snack. Am I right? It's a 12-inch food already. Meal? Give me a break, you know? All right, there's this cool store near my house, and they sell piggy banks for $10.50 before tax. I mean after tax. Anyway, so each time I save that much change in my daily life, I put it all in my piggy bank and bring it back to that cool store where I bought it. And flag down an attendant, and then I smash it right there on the floor by the register, and I surprise them by pulling out the exact amount of change from the pile of broken piggy bank. And I say, I'll take a new piggy bank, please. They don't believe me that it's the right change at first until they count it, but it always is. Okay, anyway, so I've always cooked my food with Teflon nonstick pans. Okay, let's hear it. Boo me out, I can take it. Come on, I've heard it all. Teflon equals cancer. Teflon's made by DuPont. You're funding the military industrial complex. Boo, come on. I've heard it all. Well, anyway, I was hesitant to try to start cooking with cast iron pans, you know, but over the last couple years, it's actually made me a much stronger cook. Because those things are so heavy. Check out how strong I am now. Patrick, can you get that bucket, please? need that. Hold on. Look at that.
Two was enough. Two was enough.
Thank you. Let's see here. Wouldn't it be cool if different plants grew in the winter, like in the snow? Like if snow was their soil? Am I right? All right. Thank you. That's it for the joke part. And now there's one more thing for you tonight. I'm gonna make a paper airplane, and I'm gonna throw it at the crowd. Okay? Whoever gets the plane gets a really nice prize. Okay? So don't be scared. Okay? Looks like I got one made already.
Good job. Wait, who gets the prize?
Whoever gets the airplane.
Oh, okay.
So everybody get in the center if you want a chance to get an airplane. Right down the center.
Everybody!
You guys want this prize? What'd you say?
I'm fucking annoying.
I don't think you're annoying. Ready? Set. Go!
It's you!
Get the prize. Whoa! Terrible. I got you in the face. I'm so sorry. That was scary. Who got the prize? Come on up and get it. It's a pillowcase. It says "Birth of a Salesman." It says right here, Samuel Robertson displays a copy of his illustrated Old Testament in his now iconic briefcase, America's Bible. And don't forget, when you set your clocks back, to also set www.americasbible.com on your computer, so you'll be among the first to hear any great news about the podcast. Sweet dreams. Thank you for participating. And then last thing is just, if you want updates about Birth of the Salesman podcast, you got 3 options, okay? You can check out americasbible.com. You can go to my Instagram at Sam Robertson Art, or sign up for my newsletter in this notebook right here. And I'll leave it on the table over there, but thank you for being so interactive, and it was really fun. Thank you guys. I'm so excited for what's next, and thanks to Patrick and Dan for setting this up. And it's a really special, I'll turn this off because I know what it's like to be looked at by a light. That stinks, but this is a really special place, and it's really cool that it's been going for so long. I love coming to Tiny Tuesdays, and for those of you who it's your first time, I hope you keep coming back to more, because there's always something like really fresh and special coming through these doors, and it's like a really cool, unique thing on Tuesdays. So thank you so much.